The next question that often comes up is about mistakes. People will say, oh God, I made a mistake. What do I do? Will I get a 4? Well, no, I can't answer that question. Nobody can. But generally, people only get 4s if they make multiple mistakes, and they would be repeat mistakes as well. It doesn't really matter what kind they are, whether they're pronunciation or grammar or vocabulary or something. What I would encourage people to do is remember this. In the IELTS exam, the most fundamental, the most key thing that you have to do is keep on talking. You don't want to be sitting there thinking about your mistakes and frozen, and nor do you want to be repeating sentences again and again in an effort to correct some mistake that you think you have made. You know, someone who's saying something like, I went to the bathroom. You know, it's not going to help the fact that you've corrected the fact that you missed the 2 in the original sentence. You know, it's better just to move on and keep going and maintain the flow of speech. So for grammatical mistakes, especially for those, I think that you should just continue. There's no use in cycling back to cover up a grammar mistake, especially if it's just an isolated grammar mistake. It really will hurt you more than it will help you to go back and correct it. Now, writing obviously is a different story because you can correct it and you show it on your screen. But in speaking, if you're dealing with someone who's making grammar mistakes and always correcting them and making grammar mistakes and always correcting them, then the flow of their speech is it's all broken up and it's difficult to understand and follow. It's not nice. Now, if you're making other kinds of mistakes, like a pronunciation mistake, like you want to say a word like microphone, but you actually say microphone, then you know I don't like to sing with a microphone because I think that's fine as a correction. You know, if you're making a pronunciation mistake, you know, your tongue slips, it happens to me even as a native speaker, then I think definitely just correct it right away. That's fine. Everyone will understand that, and that is what native speakers would do. If a native speaker made a pronunciation mistake, they would correct it in most cases. If they made a grammar mistake, they wouldn't in most cases, and I think you should just follow that basic rule. Now, if you make a vocabulary mistake, like you use the wrong word, so for example, someone wants to say that they park their car in the garage or something like that, and instead of using the word garage, they use the word that's maybe somewhat similar but just wrong, like for example wardrobe or cupboard or something. It's also something which is used to store, but it is definitely not a garage which would be suitable for a car. If you make that kind of mistake, like my father usually puts the car in the wardrobe and it has a lot of space in there, then yes, I do think that should be corrected, because that shows that the person doesn't understand the word, and that could be a major problem for your vocabulary. So if you've made a mistake, like use the word cupboard instead of the word garage, and you've realized it quickly, then yeah, you can say, sorry, I meant to say garage there, not cupboard. I don't know what I was thinking about. Let's do an example. My father usually parks the car in the cupboard. Oh, sorry, I mean in the garage. I don't know what I'm thinking. That's great, okay? What wouldn't be great? My father usually parks the car in the cupboard, and we have a big garden with lots of flowers and other kinds of plants there, and in the summertime it smells nice, and we have lots of interesting insects, and sometimes my grandmother grows vegetables like, you know, sweet potatoes and pumpkins and onions. Generally, I feel that my house is a really pleasant place to live. Oh no, sorry, garage. Garage. It's garage, not cupboard. No. You don't do this, because you've taken the person too far from the original place where the mistake was, and finally you've realized it, and then you've completely shattered, you've broken the rhythm of the speech. You stop telling your story if that was a part 2, and then you've gone back to an earlier point and things are just disastrous and muddled there. We don't want that. It's better just to leave it in that case, okay? So if you make a mistake with a word and you're close to it, you're just in the next sentence or something and you realize, then you can explain what mistake you made, and you can even say, silly me or something. But if you've already gone on like 5 or 6 sentences, then don't bother about it, just continue. The most important thing is always to continue in IELTS, because that will determine your fluency score. You definitely don't want to break your fluency to go back and correct a vocabulary mistake from like 15 or 20 seconds ago. It will destroy your fluency, and the fluency score is probably the most important of the 4 sub-scores in speaking. It's definitely something you want to preserve. You want to be speaking at a reasonable rate. You want to be on the topic, okay? And your answers should be coherent and making sense. And if you're breaking it up because you're correcting a mistake, it's not going to be good, especially if you do it often or you do it when the mistake is like 5 or 6 sentences away. So just to review, when should you correct mistakes? Well, pronunciation mistakes, if you just did it, yeah, sure. Vocabulary mistakes, if you just did it, yeah, sure, correct it. Grammar mistakes, usually not. You would just want to go on for those. If you follow these simple rules, I think that it will help you to boost your fluency, which will help you to boost your overall score. Correcting mistakes sounds good on the surface, but actually it can undermine fluency, and that's the last thing you want to do in this exam. Alright, well, I hope people found this video helpful and got some good information from it, and I wish you all success in your exam. I will see you soon in the next video.